we got different head covers. We pay for, there's $100 ball markers out there. It's like, why is the golf glove like overlooked all the time? Of like, I'll just put on the crusty old whatever that's hanging off my golf bag. Like we're trying to disprove that theory that you can have fun, show your personality to the world with the golf gloves.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast. Robbie here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today's episode is a great one. I got to talk with Michael Verska III, who is head of all the marketing at Asher Golf. You might recognize the name Asher because they are an incredible golf glove company, but they do other things as well. But it was really cool to chat with him and learn more about the story of Asher, what they are doing in the game. And I think you guys are going to love this episode. If the name Michael Verska is familiar, it's because we interviewed his dad a couple years ago. He was kind enough to give us a chance. I reached out to him blindly because I follow him on Twitter or X. And I reached out to him years ago and said, hey, would you join us? And he was in one of our first few episodes of season 1. But his dad is the director of player performance and custom fitting at Callaway Golf. But this one is about Michael, the son, who is doing some great things at Asher Golf. Again, great episode, great chat. They're doing some amazing things. I would highly encourage you to check out what they're doing. Buy a golf glove or two because we need to be changing those out more than we do anyway. So yeah, this is a good episode. As always, we are brought to you by our friends at Summit Golf Brands, folks like B. Draddy, Zero Restriction. I'm rocking my Lido TKO hoodie from Zero Restriction. They do a great stuff there. Highly encourage and recommend that you guys check out their stuff. They are kind enough to give you, our audience, 20% off. So if you use BestBall 20 at any of the websites, you can get 20% off your order. And they're great people. Like we enjoy representing them and being a part of their ambassador program, partnership, whatever we want to call it, because of the people there. So very thankful for that. And that's why it's easy to say, hey, you guys should go check them out. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to my chat with Michael Verska III with Asher Golf. Y'all enjoy. All right. Well, today's guest on the Whole Story Podcast, Michael Verska. Michael, how are you doing?
Good. And how are you, Robbie?
I'm doing well, man. Well, I appreciate you doing this. I think it's the first time we've had a guest who is related to another guest before. I might be wrong there, but definitely the first father-son combo we've had come on the show. We did your dad a few years ago. He was kind enough to do this when we were first getting going to talk about what he does. But today's episode is about you and what you are doing with Asher Golf. So, man, it's an honor it was an honor, one, to meet you in person at the PGA show this year, and then now to get a chance to hear your story about what you're doing with Asher Golf.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Awesome to meet you at the PGA show too. I love all the connections. I think that was only my second or third PGA show actually. So they just keep getting better and better.
They really do. Yeah, it was my first one, and it was exactly what I was hoping. I kept telling people that, that I told that I went to it. I got to connect with people like your dad, who we had on the show before. So reconnect with guests that we've had, and then meet folks in person like you, who, man, we have to have this guy on the podcast or this person on the podcast for sure. So before we talk about what you're doing with Asher Golf, which I think is really cool, and I just mentioned to you, I watched the first episode of a new YouTube series, you guys, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit, but I want to know what your journey into the game of golf was like. Is it because your family was all involved in golf, or how did you first start playing and fall in love with the game?
Yeah, obviously, I always tell people that I was born into golf almost. So my dad was at Wilson, his first stint at Wilson when I was born, up in the Chicago area, and we were actually it's funny. Dad did golf for business, but we were a baseball family growing up. But at the same time, with how many resources and just cool projects my dad was working on, like I had to play, experience the game, have some fun, I was never very good until I got out of baseball. Obviously, those 2 swings are not,
A little different. Yeah.
decent by any means, but yeah, some early great memories of, going to the driving range with my dad, getting, little custom built drivers. There's this one picture of like me with like a putter and my dad just like lining up the same ball, just awesome, awesome stuff. But the game has been so great to me, obviously to my family. I think it would be a disservice to kind of write it off and all the things we've done. But obviously like awesome experiences. I remember, through my dad in high school, we went to I I think it was like the PGA Championship or something at Conway Farms up in Wisconsin. And we had access to like the driving range. I met like Kevin Streelman. My dad introduced me. So yeah, I feel so spoiled with all the things that I've gotten to experience in golf and continue to get to experience. So obviously awesome things. I think the only thing that I have on my dad is, um, I interned at Callaway before he started at Callaway, which is where he is now. So
So he has you to thank for the job.
somewhat of that.
Yeah.
We had it was hilarious. It was maybe a month ago before the summer ended, and he called me. He's like, "Hey, you cool with being coworkers?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, I'm gonna go to Callaway. I'm gonna do this." And so that was fun. Like he worked on the top floor, I worked on the bottom floor, and it's just super fun. But the we always had this debate of like who gets the Michael.Verska at CallawayGolf.com email, and there was a little bit of it. It was like I had to I had to switch or he had to switch. I think at first he had Michael D. Verska because they couldn't just switch the emails. So until I ended that summer, I had Michael.Verska at Callaway. So that was kind of fun to, say that. I still got all of his emails, which is funny, but kind of fun to have at least something over his head.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game of golf's been so great to me. I play obviously a lot more now. Um, just love the game, love what it brings in terms of like a not just like the physical competition because that's something that I lack from playing competitive baseball in my life right now, but just the mental side to be able to get away, just have some one-on-one time with yourself if you're playing by yourself, or just hang out with your buddies and things like that, and play just an easy, fun, casual game. So,
That's awesome. So did you go to school with the idea of I want to work in the golf industry someday?
no, I mean like it's always been like an awesome thing. So I was kind of like an early bloomer in the sense that being a Chicago kid, when I was about maybe 14, I saw the old MJ commercials, right, with Spike Lee and all these things, and kind of one day having a conversation with my dad, I was like, I want to do sports marketing. I want to do like I don't know the commercials, or I want to work with athletes or something. Like I think that's what I want to do. And he was like, oh, let's get you all these resources. I took like a class in high school, luckily that had it. And it was never like, oh, I want to be golf specific. It was like I just want to work with athletes. I want to be around sports that I love. And then, um, I actually when I went to Utah State for college, up in northern Utah, and I worked in the athletics department, and I thought that being like team sports was really fun. I was like, oh, like I get to be on the field and be on the court and all these things. But then I was looking for an internship. Met my dad actually met someone who worked at Callaway who got me an interview. I ended up interning in their brand marketing department. Um, which looking back on that was just like such a special time, and I'm so blessed to be able to have been there at that time. Like one of my direct reports was Chad Coleman, who's at the LPGA now.
Yeah.
AJ Vopel was on that team, who's at Municipal. Harry Arnett, who's at Municipal. Like just like all these guys who have branched off and are doing just insanely awesome things. Like I was able to learn from them. And that's what made me realize I really would like to do like product or, golf or something like that. Um, and yeah, and then I still did the team sports until graduation, but I only applied for product marketing or golf or things like that. And I actually graduated. I always like to say because my senior year was when COVID started.
Oh.
So I remember I have vivid memories of taking a midterm and my teacher kind of just being like, "I don't think I'm going to see you again." And so, anyways, whirlwind of a time to get a job, right? But landed here at Asher, and almost 6 years next month will be. So it worked out.
So this was the first job in the industry, I guess, post school.
Post school, yeah. First one,
Very nice.
haven't left yet, so
Very nice. Well, it must be a special place, and let's talk about Asher. So, just kind of give the origin story. And I, like you said, or like I mentioned, I watched the first of the series of YouTube and your new YouTube channel. But give the story of Asher Golf. Like, where did it start? Where did the name come from? How did it all begin?
yeah, so, kind of an interesting story, a little roundabout of how we've gotten to where we are now, but so, back in 2009, an ex-pro snowboarder, who, unfortunately is no longer with us, he founded the brand, just wanted to make something golf. He didn't really know what it was, right? So it kind of faltered. But our current CEO, my boss, he bought the company in 2017, kind of closed the doors down with just this ethos of like, hey, like I love golf. I love having my own style. I love having, bringing my own personality. Like it's such an individual game. And, kind of the idea to buy Asher even came when he went to, I think it was a Golf Galaxy or PGA Superstore, can't remember which one, but needed some gloves and was just like, oh, wow, my options are white with the Titleist logo or white with the FootJoy logo or white with the this. And it's like, how fun. I can't wait to pick which one this is, right? So obviously, or sarcastically. And so ever since then, it's been like, we're on a mission to just build a super premium, fun, but obviously elevated golf glove. I think that's the best way to put it. Obviously, like you have like we don't want to be too far on the spectrum of like tchotchke, like like weird fun, but like this middle ground of, hey, listen, we're serious golfers. We play well. The grip is really what matters. It's like your one connection to the golf glove. Why put on like a bad leather quality type thing. So we use, the best AAA Coretta you can put in a golf glove. And then two, like if, golfers are psychos a little bit of like, we got different head covers. We pay for, there's $100 ball markers out there. It's like, why is the golf glove like overlooked all the time of like, I'll just put on the crusty old whatever that's hanging off my golf bag. Like we're trying to disprove that theory that you can have fun, show your personality to the world with a golf glove. So I started here in 2020 when we just were making just gloves. It was kind of fun. I'm a sneakerhead, so kind of one of my first initiatives was kind of turning the golf glove into kind of shoe drop sneaker culture. That was kind of what was going on back then, which is great. It was fun. We started pumping out limited edition designs, seasonal things, which is really great. Realized that we had a taste to make some apparel as well, just that complemented the glove. Nothing to overtake anything else, just to complement. So we came out with a full apparel line in 2022, I believe, and then kind of we still have apparel this day. Obviously, the cashmere I'm wearing, the polo I'm wearing, the hat I'm wearing, we all make, which is great. But we kind of connecting to the YouTube series we dropped out. We dropped kind of we just wanted this year get back to the glove, get back to like exclusively not exclusively looking at making it better, right? So like we've always said we've had the best glove in the market, but nothing's perfect. So we've made a few changes that are coming, which is going to be really really awesome to see and get the experience and the feedback from the customer. But we're just on a mission to tell just the best golf glove story that you can. It's an accessory and gets overlooked, but we think it deserves its time in the sun.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I you talk about the old crusty golf glove on your bag, and that rings true for me because it's one of those things. Like I take mine off after playing, and I loop it around and stick the Velcro together so it hangs on. And I typically don't replace it until, and I'm sure like you find with most golfers, until maybe there's a hole in it, or you might feel that first slip or something like that. But it really is something that you should pay more attention to because, like you were saying, it's not just an accessory, but it's part of the game because when it does slip in your hands, the club slips in your hands because of a bad golf glove, it's going to impact obviously where your ball goes and then where how you're scoring. So,
Exactly.
have you found that um, people should be changing? I would say the answer is probably yes, but should be changing it and paying attention to it a lot more than they are now.
Absolutely. I think the glove also highlights too the fact of just like the overlooked little parts of the golf swing, right? So like we'll get a lot of customers who are like, oh, like they love the glove, and then they're like, oh, all of a sudden, hey, this one's wearing a little quicker than my other ones. Why is that? And obviously like we'll do the typical customer service things, but more times than not, for example, their grips are corded and super worn down, and I'm like, "There you go. You gotta be like," and which is really funny because we did a collaboration with Golf Pride,
Hmm.
a few years ago, which was really fun. They're obviously awesome company. Really told the story of the connection, right? But, yeah, like, it's kinda like I always equate it to wedges. You know how they say that you should change your wedges, like, once a year because of the grooves? Obviously, you should change your golf club more than once a year. But you know, the same kind of performance that you get with clean wedges is the similar that you'll see with a new golf glove, right? Like all of a sudden, you have every touch point, you have all the parts. There's a complete control over the swing, things like that. So yeah, I think people should pay attention more to the golf glove, and like we try to take steps to help people like prolong the life of the glove, right? Like our packaging is food safe even. So putting it back in the package helps it last longer. We've got like a glove caddy, which is like this awesome leather thing with microfiber dividers. So yeah, obviously it reduces those kind of things as well. But yeah, I think if people really, I think if people paid attention more to their golf glove, I think they'd see a few more shots gained.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And you mentioned kind of the personality or the styling because yeah, you don't want to just go out
Right.
and buy the next white golf glove, right? So you're able to add, clothes are changing and allowing people to pick colors and things like that and add their own style. So did y'all find that there was ways to add kind of your own personal flair or preferences and making different colors and styles and things like that?
Yeah, 100%. Like I think we started off with like some cool technology. We're gonna do like prints and things like that, but we're starting to see too the like the tab being just such a great piece of real estate. Let me see if I have one. Like when I was at the PGA show, right? We did this Blanco collab, right? It was the first time we did embroidery on the tab, which was kind of fun, different, elegant touch. But the tab is where we're seeing people really kind of gravitate towards, right? We've kind of experimented with different materials, different looks. We started to do like suede tabs, right? People love like that's kind of like one of our newest best sellers is like a white glove with like a cool tab. It's like the people that are like, I love a white glove because that's all I know. But
Right.
I want to start stepping that boundary. I want to start kind of expressing myself a little better. So yeah, the tab's kind of been the hero as of late, but I think especially with the improvements we're making to leather consistency, leather fastness, I think you'll start to see people really start gravitating towards the colored glove again this year, which will be really exciting.
Nice. Well, you mentioned the collab with Golf Pride, and I think that's really cool. And I didn't even think about the fact that it's two things that are touching, right? The grip and the glove, and so that one makes that a really cool collab. But are y'all partnering and doing collaborations with other brands as well?
Yeah, we've got a few we've done a few collaborations in the past that I really really love. Um, the one that I always talk about too is when we got asked to do the glove for the Happy Gilmore 25th anniversary. That was probably 4 or 5 years ago now, but that was such an awesome project. You had like Adidas, you had Seamus, you had all these awesome like brands, and then just a little golf glove put in. I still got one over here on my desk. But
He
this year,
didn't wear it during the movie, did he?
no, unfortunately,
The new movie, yeah.
yeah, I wish. We talked about something for the new movie. There was a couple hiccups there, but really fun. We also did a glove for Jack Nicklaus. He wore for the commemorative first shot at the Masters in 2021. That was really cool. It had like a little icon of the yes sir moment. That was cool. So those are probably my two favorite past collaborations. But this year we teased it out at the Waste Management actually. But the one I'm most excited for is we teamed with Archie Bradley, who's an ex MLB
Mhm.
pitcher, which super awesome guy, awesome personality, just an overall great human being. And he's got a partnership with Mossy Oak, the
Mhm.
camo outdoors brand. And so we've kind of teamed together to put their I think it's called the Mossy Land or some. They have a specific name for it. I apologize for not remembering it, but we took their exact pattern and used their product team and approved it through them, but it's the exact pattern of their camo. It's going to be on the tab, and there's going to be two different colors of it. Um, and it's just awesome, like hunting, pro sports, golf, like just everything. I think it really comes together really well, and So that's really awesome. And we got hopefully this year too, we've been working with the Grass League. That's a really fun collaboration we're
Nice.
working with. We have a good relationship with the LA team there. One of our ambassadors plays on their team, so that's really fun. Just and that's some of the golf clubs kind of taken me in my career, which is really awesome. Is just the different places in golf that are still like super passionate, right? Like everyone always thinks like PGA Tour merch tents, which are awesome. I love going to those events, but what the Grass League's doing, like Under the Lights Part Three. We have the Asher Tour, which is like a mini tour, like just and then obviously like we did like collaboration with Zach Gallen, who plays in the D-backs. We go on opening day and like doing a golf club at opening day in the LB was like weird, crazy fun. It's just like it's just you just that's the beauty of golf. That's like why I stick with it is like it transcends all these different avenues and different sports and like I mean every pro insert major sport plays golf now and it's like
Exactly.
it's just awesome.
Yeah, at some point, you can't play baseball or basketball or football or whatever other pro sport forever,
Yeah.
but you can certainly get out there and play golf. And I love the ability to, like you were talking about Archie Bradley and personalizing different things, whether it's with him, with the Mossy Oaks, with the golf ride, or do you allow? I guess this may be a question that you can or can't do. Do you allow like people to customize their own glove? Like, can you put in requests and do like one offs?
We do have a custom glove program actually.
Nice.
MOQ is a little higher than one,
Yeah.
but yeah, like we'll get like companies, corporations, like golf outings. They're like, hey, like we want to do like we have a tournament we did last year and we're doing it again this year. It's up in Detroit. It's a bunch of ex MLB players through I think the Jewish Sports Foundation. They wanted to have they do an event every year called the Greenberg Classic, I believe it's called. So they wanted to have like their logo on a glove, and we shipped them up to Detroit, handed them out. It was an awesome course. Like, yeah, like, and we even get a few. There was a member at one of the private clubs in California. He loves the gloves, and he was just like, "I'm tired of buying them. I have an insane amount of money. Can I customize my own glove?" And we're like, "I guess so." Like, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Order 100, 150, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." So he put, I think we made him a little logo that had like his initials or something on it, and he shipped 150 of I think it was left hand large to California, and he just cycles through 'em. He's just got a box of Asher gloves that are his that he just keeps going through. So, yeah, like that's some of the coolest things that we do is our custom glove program, just how intricate we can get, and we always say like we can make the glove as wild as you want. Like just let us know and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, the customer always right, right? You
Yeah,
figure out what they want, and if they're willing to pay for it, then sure, we'll come up with it.
yeah, exactly.
So who obviously you've got the website and people can order directly there. So there's a direct to consumer or you're selling to consumers. So individuals if they want one glove, if they want multiple, if they want the glove caddy that you guys have as well. And obviously the merch, the other clothes and things like that. But are you selling to, like you said, you can do a bulk order or courses calling and saying, hey, we like your gloves. Can you throw our logo on it? Are you looking to expand that? What other ways are you trying to get the gloves out there?
Yeah, I think pro shops and I think we work with pro shops currently. We've got a number of like really cool clients that like one of the Cabot properties has like a home and away kind of glove. One's white, one's orange,
Nice.
kind of fun. And a couple other really cool courses that I can't name unfortunately, but yeah, like golf courses and corporate clients and that's where we're hitting right now. I think the D2C portion of our business is the main focus right now. Something that I'm putting it out. I'm manifesting this. It's an idea that I've had for a while, and I had this idea. It keeps coming to me, but every time I go to a PGA Tour event, I keep getting reminded of it. Like I went to the Waste Management this year, which is great, and there was so many cool like merch things, and like you could women's is like getting super elevated, which is awesome with all the different brands out there. Um, but like there's nothing under like $50 that you're like, I'm really pumped by that. Um, and so I think that doing like tournament specific gloves and having them in merch tents would be not like obviously it'd be great for us because we would sell them, but I think it'd be great for everybody. Like how cool would it be to have a waste management glove or everyone gets like I've seen a bunch of people. I had an uncle actually did this. He would get like a golf ball with like the tournament logo or the course
Hmm.
logo. Like I think it would be really cool, not even from a collectible standpoint, to have a you know, a US Open glove that you got in the merch tent or, waste management glove that you got in the merch tent. I think that's something that I'm working on. I am not there yet, but I think that would be really cool and at least innovative for the customer and the fan.
Sure. No, well, that makes a lot of sense because I mean, I was looking even this year at the players. We're recording this in mid March. The players is happening right now, and Zach Brust, who we've had on the podcast before with Del Campo socks,
Oh
like
yeah,
they're in the merch tent with the Del Campo socks with the players' logoed stuff on it. So,
super cool.
if you think about even like buying socks, but you mentioned golf balls, hats with the logos, but why can't people collect golf gloves from different events? I think that's a great idea. So, yeah, you say you're going to speak into existence. I think courses and tournaments should pay attention and definitely give you guys a call for sure.
I agree. I think that'd be fun.
Are y'all doing a lot of the graphics, like come up with logos and stuff yourself? Are you doing that in house?
Yeah, we do just about everything in house. So I run like I'm actually like a one man marketing crew. I would say.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a paid media buyer who helps me, like, manage that day to day, but everything you see on the website or social and things like that runs through me, which is really fun, and then, we have a main designer, but everyone kinda pitches in, which is, that's one of the fun really fun parts of working here is that, like, as a sneakerhead, like, I'll have an idea and be like, "Hey, let's turn this into a golf glove," or, "Hey, I wanna do a golf glove for this," or things like that, and due to, like, our ability to turn things around quickly and like do all the graphics ourselves. We get to do some cool things. They're really fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, besides going into tournaments and having gloves and collectible type things there, what's next for Asher Golf? Like, how do you guys take it to the next level? How do you grow?
Yeah. I think I've kind of alluded to it already. I think the changes we're making this year they're not huge changes, slight changes to logoing, branding, a couple of things in terms of like the glove and how we're reinforcing a couple areas for longer performance, things like that. I think that's one. I think differentiating ourselves even further in the product category is kind of that first step because obviously you can do all these different activities, but if your product doesn't back it up, you're not going to grow. And I think the second thing is just getting the glove in as many people's hands as possible. Like we're really focused on um, working with creators, ambassadors, players. We recently signed somebody that is not announced yet, but I'm really excited for that announcement. I think he will. I think he's going to be a great representation of the brand and the glove and what it stands for. So finding more people like that, finding more people that want to tell the message of the Asher glove, and I'm kind of like just anybody who wants a glove, I'm sending them one. Just be like, hey, listen, like I believe in this product, like back it up, tell somebody else, and keep it going. I think that's the biggest growth area right now is just figuring out different ways to gain awareness around it. Social media is obviously a big thing. We're starting to expand social channels, right? So that's another point of growth for us is more YouTube Shorts. We're a little bit on TikTok. I think growing that would be huge as well. But just furthering and drilling down into that brand story of the glove, I think is our biggest point right now, and not remaining solely focused on that.
That's awesome. Do y'all have any kind of subscription program for, like you said, you need to be changing your gloves out? Do you have something? I know friends that subscribe to like Titleist golf balls and they get a shipment every other month or something like that. Do y'all have any kind of programs like that for your golf glove that, what I'm not even thinking about it, but all of a sudden a new glove shows up because that'll help remind me that I need to be changing it?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got one right now. It's more of our exclusive, like we call it the Glove Club. It's just for those people that want like the most exclusive Astro gloves we make. And then the subscription you're speaking of will be coming in April. That's an initiative working on right now is just you nailed it on the head. How many times have I like been with a friend or been with a buddy on a Saturday round and they know me, they're like friends with me. They know they can get golf gloves anytime, but because their bag sits in their car or they throw their glove in the bag, they pull it out, they're like, "Oh crap, I got to play this round with a crusty glove." Like if you can just get the shipment every, 5th of the month or whatever. So yeah, that's something I'm working on and hoping really helps close that gap of not having that uh-oh moment.
Yeah, no, because if not, right, if you reach in your bag and you're like, "Oh, man, this one's falling apart. I can't play another round in this thing," then what are you doing? You're walking in the pro shop and buying whatever new white glove is on the rack, right?
Gloves, glove because the pro shop's marking it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I think that's a great idea and a great thing that you guys are going to be doing. So, yeah, I love it. I love a brand that has done stuff for the right reasons and have found a niche in the market. And yeah, you'll have clothes and hats and other things that you can sell, but all in focus on the golf glove where you guys started and where you're making an impact. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yep. Well, let me ask as we start to wrap up, we kind of get a little more personal and get some favorite kind of things here. But the first question we like to ask everybody is, tell us the story of your most memorable golf shot.
Ooh. I think that unfortunately this is an easy one. And I hope I feel like I tell this story and people it's like it's point of jealousy in golf, but I have one hole in one in my life.
Okay,
Um,
well that's one more than us, so you're good.
there it is. And let me take it back. Going back to the beginning of this podcast, I had a hole in one before my dad. So that's, two things that I have more
He
in golf.
really owes a lot to your success
Sure, yeah.
or
But
to his success. Yeah.
yeah, but favorite golf shot was I had a hole in one. It was in Utah. I was playing golf with my dad actually, my uncle, and two of my uncles and my dad. Um, I had to work. I had to be in an event or something like that, so I caught them on the back nine, and we showed up. I'm feeling good. The round's going okay, right? Nothing crazy. And we stepped up, and the pins in kind of like this location, front location where there's a ridge in the middle. You're like, oh, there's a backstop for sure. Like I know how to do that. I hope I can do this type of thing. Like that'd be great. So I even got a little cocky, and I took my phone out, gave it to my uncle, and I said, "Hey, film this. This is going in." And he's like, "Whatever." So he presses record, and as soon as the ball hits the green, he turns it off, not realizing because he's not a huge golfer, not realizing that I landed it on that ridge for the spin. And as soon as the ball goes in the hole, he like hits the button again. So I have the shot, I have the reaction. I just don't have the ball actually going in the hole, but I have three witnesses at least. So yeah, that was I called my shot. It was a little Babe Ruth moment, but to say that I did that on purpose, I wouldn't say I flushed it by any means. I caught it a little thin, so it was
You
luck.
don't have to tell that
That's
part.
golf.
Yeah, you don't have to tell that part. That's awesome. Yeah, that fact that he cut it off and then was able to cut it back on. I'm glad he did that to
Yeah,
catch a
you
little bit
got
of
the
the
reaction at
celebration.
least.
Yeah, very nice. No, that's a cool story, man. That's how really we started all this thing. It was like, how do we help people tell stories like that? Like that's
Awesome.
really cool. So congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. The other thing we do is a thing called the quick nine. It's a little rapid fire
Okay.
question to ask some favorites. What is the favorite course that you've ever played?
Ooh, that's a toss-up. I think, I played Bethpage the year last year for the Ryder Cup. So I played it right before the Ryder Cup. I was gonna say Pebble, but playing Bethpage in a Ryder Cup year where, like, then you could then watch it a few months later and be like, "I've hit that shot, I hit that shot, I hit that shot." That it's gotta be my favorite.
Nice. All right. What course is at the top of your bucket list?
I've never been to Bandon. I would love to go to Bandon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's on
Any
top
course
of a
advantage.
lot of
You
people.
pick one.
Yeah. Any, if you go, you got to play them all though, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite course that no one knows about?
Ooh, great question. There's a local track here called Glenmore.
Okay.
Um, it's nothing special, like in terms of design, but they have a greenskeeper that like does his job to about 2000%. And so like it's a public track that you wouldn't think anything of, but the fairways are always awesome. The greens are always awesome. And it's like $60 to play, 8 for 18 or something. So no one knows about it. It's like just local track west of the office, but I've never complained about the conditions. Only like me actually playing.
That's awesome. That's part of the reason we ask that question is because we want when we travel, like we love. Obviously, you love playing the well known courses, but like
Sure.
the ones that others like love to play like that. Like that's exactly what we're looking for. So great
Yeah.
answer. Who would be in your dream foursome?
Ooh, great question. Are we doing dead or are we doing alive or all
It's your
time?
dream.
Oh wow, okay. I would say I'm gonna go. I think I gotta go straight to athletes. I think I would love to play. I would love to play with Scotty. I really admire him, and I think like his like duality of his personality that's really coming out like when he's not playing as well. I think really fun. I would say my favorite baseball player of all time is Dustin Pedroia. I don't even know if he plays golf, but I'd love to be able to talk to him for 18 holes. And then probably, the owner of Kith, Ronnie Feig. They've done some collaboration with TaylorMade. I respect his fashion and like design expertise. I'd love to chat with him for 18 holes about that.
Nice. How'd Pedroia become your favorite baseball player? I'm a big Red Sox fan, so
I am luckily I'm sitting down. I'm like 5'9", so and 5'9", 160 soaking wet type thing. And I was even smaller in high school. So I played middle infield. And just like idolizing him for being an undersized just giant was amazing. And then very gratefully when my dad was at Wilson the second time, I was able to go to his office, kind of meet the team, and I met the guy who makes all the gloves for the MLB players. And I told him that Dustin Pedroia was my favorite player, and he's like, okay, like let me see your hand. And I was like, okay, like whatever. Did one of these with him, and he's like, you have the same size hand as Dustin Pedroia. And I was like,
that's cool.
what? Like so, just like his attitude, the way he plays, just relentless, and then obviously being an undersized, just bomb hitter, and just all
Yeah.
the stories.
Yeah. Great answer. All right. What is your favorite snack at the turn?
Ooh, um, I love some beef jerky, just some good jerky or whatever that is.
Okay. All right. Favorite golf course logo?
The Sleepy Hollow Headless Horseman.
Great answer. Have you played there?
Never played there. I would love to though.
Yeah. Many people would. um, all right. Favorite pro shop purchase?
Ooh, um, oh, easy answer actually. I don't know why it took me so long. I got the opportunity to play MPCC last year, the Dunes course, and it was their 100th year anniversary. So they had like some special only 100-year swag, and I have a flag that has a golden serpent or dragon, whatever it is, not the green one.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Very unique, unique collector's item there.
yeah.
All right. What is one thing golfers should do?
Care a lot less about their score. I think it's Nelly Corda who's like, it's really interesting how the less you care, the better you swing. And because golf's so individual and it's like a battle, right, with yourself, you get so down on yourself. But if you just care a lot less and like I honestly do this sometimes when I need to. It's just like don't even keep score. But like have your buddy keep score so that you can like still post, right? And not be a sandbagger. But like just like, hey, I'll tell you what I got every hole, but don't tell me where I'm at type thing. I think if they cared a lot less about the individual scores of their holes, they'd probably play better.
Great answer. All right. Last one. Finish this sentence. The best part of golf is
I think the camaraderie, just the camaraderie with your friends you have, camaraderie within the industry, if you're lucky to work in it. Like it's such a small world. And I think the industry also represents how awesome golf is and how tight knit you can be with people.
very nice. Well, Michael, this has been awesome, man. Tell everybody where they can find out more about Asher Golf and go buy some stuff.
Yeah, super simple. AsherGolf.com or at Asher Golf on socials, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter even as well. So
Very nice. Yeah, this has been fun, man. I really
appreciate you,
appreciate it.
Robbie.
So, yeah. Well, for Michael, this is Robbie, and you guys have been listening to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast.